Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Tuesday live immigration update. We try to do those lives every week and kind of complement it with our weekly videos. We have 3 videos every week to update you on immigration matters. And in this week, um, we will be covering the immigration roundup updates, news, things that happened that are important for you to know. So those of you that are joining right now, let me know where you're from. Post in the comments, and we'll also be taking questions from you, throughout the stream. So you can post your questions in the comment box, and we'll go from there. There's quite a few news updates this week, in addition to all the videos we've done. Definitely a lot of things that are changing, and I think it's important for us to address those. So, welcome everybody. We've got Kelly from Jersey. Pleasure. Enrique is here. Um, we've got Lovely from Alabama and the Philippines. Welcome, guys. As always, I try to make those videos, the lives, at least once a week. I mean, last week was really busy for me, but we always, make our videos. We never miss a video. The lives are a bit more challenging. So thanks for guys. We got Saudi Arabia, Chicago, Brazil. Um, okay, here we go. I will take your questions as well at the end of the stream. So let's start with the update, and then I'll take your questions. And if you guys want to join me on video as well, I'm gonna post right here. You can see a link. I posted a link in the comments. If you want to join me on video, I'll take a few of you live with me in a few minutes. All right. So first of all, the first thing I wanted to mention is that USCIS announced this week that they're going to be finally releasing a final update on flexibilities, which is going to end on March 23. And what I mean by that is that for the past almost 2.5 years, if you had a request for evidence, if you had a motion to reopen that you had to file, they gave you extra 60 days in addition to the time that they usually give you on your request for evidence. And this policy is going to end on March 23rd. So be mindful of that. Again, they've done this since COVID started. They wanted people to, have more time to be able to respond to requests for evidence and things like that. So this policy is going to end. It just shows you that USCIS is more or less up to date with their processes. And they think that people don't need as much time anymore to respond to requests for evidence and things like that. So hopefully they're also going to be speeding up their backlog if they're going to remove this flexibility. But for example, we had a lot of cases where we are responding to requests for evidence, and sometimes it's just hard for clients to obtain birth certificates, police reports. So those 60 days are definitely helping us to provide that information. So again, if you guys want to join me live on video, ask questions, I posted a link. I'll post it again. And all you have to do is just wait in the queue, and I'm going to add you on video in a few minutes. Now, the other updates that I wanted to tell you is that the Biden administration started this new policy. They proposed this new policy. It's not effective yet. That they're going to essentially limit who is able to apply for asylum. Now, this is a policy that the Trump administration has something similar, and people are kind of confused as to why the Biden administration is doing that. I feel that basically, let me tell you what the policy is. This policy is essentially those of you that are applying for asylum right now, you can just show up at the border. If you have a valid claim, they may let you in, and you'll be able to claim credible fear and be able to go through the process of asylum. But under this new proposed policy from the administration, they're saying that if you go through, let's say, a third country like Mexico, Nicaragua, any of the countries in the area, if you don't claim asylum there first, you're not going to be eligible to do so in the United States. They're also putting other restrictions to show that if you are, for example, from let's say Ukraine or any of the countries that have other humanitarian relief options, like Venezuela, for example, if you don't use those first, you're not going to be able to apply for asylum. Now, people are saying that this is going to be quite restrictive. It's going to, not allow people to apply for asylum. And why is it becoming so strict? I think that what's going to happen is that they're trying to show that they are strict with immigration. They're trying to show that they are taking some measures, because I think that there's going to be some more push towards the end of this year for immigration reform. And I think this administration want to say, well, we've done a bunch of strict things to protect the borders. Now give us some concessions and allow us to pass some sort of immigration reform or some sort of provisions. So that's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but my prediction is that they're doing this for a reason. The other thing is that we've got a lot of interesting things in terms of the backlog. So, and I made a video about that. The video is coming up on Friday, and it talks about the backlog in February. In February, we've an increase of 21,000 cases in the backlog, which means that State Department is not able to catch up on their processing in terms of interviews and processing at the National Visa Center. So as opposed to previous month, we have an increase of people that are waiting to be processed, to be scheduled, which is kind of, like I said, they saw an increase of 21,000 pending cases, which is an increase of 6% from the month of January, which just tells you that it's just taking forever for them to process applications. Is this going to change anytime soon? I guess it remains to be seen. I talk in more detail about it in that video that I've done. So make sure you stay tuned. The video is coming up on Friday, and I have a full report about NVC. We also have specific updates from NVC as that was given to the American Immigration Lawyers Association. So I've done a full video on that, talks about current numbers, when cases are being sent from NVC to schedule for interviews, when USCIS is going to send cases to NVC, how long it's going to take. All these updates are coming in that video, so make sure you don't miss that. And also, like I said, there's been some big changes in terms of children who are going to be aging out. There's been big changes to the Visa Bulletin Countdown, how they classify those kids, and I've done a video about it as well. So make sure you scroll back through my videos and check that update. All right, let's take some questions. We have a lot of questions. I'll take Enrique first on video, and then I'll take questions from the chat. And if you guys want to go on video, I posted a link. You can join on video. Don't be shy. It's Tuesday, and I'm here for you guys. All right, let's take Enrique. Enrique, let us know where you're from. Put your mic and ask one question.
Hello, I'm from TJ, and I'm here in San Diego.
Okay.
My question is, can you talk about more about the DREAM Act? A lot of people are asking about that.
So you're talking about the status of DACA right now, right?
Yes. If there's any updates or anything.
Yeah. So basically, what's happening right now is that we're waiting for a court decision to determine what's going to happen with DACA. But at the moment, the Supreme Court is essentially they send this case back to the lower courts, and they're going to have to make a decision. At the same time, if you remember, a few months ago, the Biden administration, they codified DACA. So DACA is now a rule, which means that it's more permanent in terms of the way it works. But the court still has provisions in terms of new applications. So new applications are not eligible to file as of now, but anybody who is renewing applications can continue to renew as well as apply for advanced parole. I think what's going to happen, Enrique, is that probably you're going to see around summertime, there's going to be another court decision. If they cancel DACA, in the sense if the judge is going to say, it's illegal, you're going to see immediately appeals from a few states. They're going to appeal it. So essentially, they're going to go back and forth until Congress is going to decide to act on it and make DACA permanent, which I believe is going to happen because of all these back and forth, it's probably going to happen beginning of 2024. You're going to see a big push down for Congress to pass legislation, and that's also going to push for other reform. And again, like I mentioned before, the reason Biden is so strict on the border is because he wants to have leverage to push for bigger immigration reform, which is going to include DACA, TPS, and the farm workers. So that's what's going to happen right now. All right. Thanks a lot, my friend. Let me take another question from the chat, and then I'll take more people from the video. We've got Syed, Sammy, and Kelly are waiting in the line, and I'll get to you in a second, guys. Let's see here. Let me see. Okay, so we've got here Kelly. Before COVID, I had a file process for my mother to get a green card, and everything was approved, and we were waiting for an interview. But then COVID came and everything stopped. So essentially, we get a lot of questions like that about people that are waiting for their interviews, right? Now, as I mentioned in previous videos, and I made another video actually this week that explains how long does it take from somebody who's becoming documented complete for them to schedule a visa interview. Right now, it varies from embassy to embassy, right? And the reason is because 90% of these embassies, they're not operating fully. They're open, but they're not processing cases properly. And MVC is not able to send cases to the embassies unless they open interview slot. So it's going to vary. It depends where your case is. And that's why I tell people, you have to kind of make a timeline. Look at when you filed your case. Like right now, our clients that filed in July of 2021, and they still don't have interviews, we started to sue the State Department. Our first cases are getting approved right now, meaning that those people that sued summer of 2021, June, July, August, are now getting interviews because they sued, right? So remember, keep this in mind. If you've been pending for so long, maybe you can qualify for a lawsuit as well if you've done everything possible to make inquiries. Like you've done expedite, you've done inquiries, and didn't work, you can sue them. And right now we're suing a lot. So like I said, if you need help with moving your case forward, that's why we have the phone number right here, 619-483-4549. Just text me so we can schedule a call to see if you qualify as well to do that, because that's working. Let's see. We've got Astra. I renewed my green card last 2021, got my notice of action, and no update. What am I going to do next? So basically what's going to happen is that the extension that you have for your renewal is good for travel and work. And so you should be okay. Because right now they're taking almost 3 years to be renewed, but that's why they give you the extensions for so long. All right, let's take Syed, and then we have Rebert. And again, those of you guys that want to go on video, just wait in the queue. We've got Syed, Rebert, and Laverne, and we'll get you in a second. We've got Syed right here. Syed, put your video on and your microphone so we can hear you as well.
Hello.
Yeah, can you put your video as well?
Actually, I'm outside my home. That's why I can.
Oh,
Can you
okay,
see?
that's fine. No worries. I can see you.
I'm
All
on the
right.
rooftop, bro.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Pakistan.
Pakistan. Nice. Welcome.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
a lot of our friends and clients in Pakistan. We have a lot of people in Islamabad and Karachi, and one
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
most complicated embassies.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what's
yeah.
your question, mate? What's your question?
My question is that my party date is from 2007 October.
Okay.
I just got DQ'd recently, like a week ago.
What is your category? Is it based on what? Marriage or
It's
what?
F4.
What?
It's F4. F4.
F4.
Yeah.
So okay. So did you check if your priority date is current, not just the queue? Did you check if your priority date is also current?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand?
Yeah, yes. It was current
It's
back
not.
in October in 2022.
So your date was already current, right? Back then.
Yes, 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 yes.
So right now, what you have to do is you just have to communicate with the National Visa Center and the embassy in Islamabad to find out what's going on, because right now Islamabad is really behind. They just don't open interview slots as much. So
Okay.
it's not a, remember, you also F4 category. F4
Yeah,
category has less priority than a marriage or K1. You
yes,
understand? So
yes, yes,
if I were you, I would email the MVC, let them know that you are done, you paid the fees and everything, and then
yeah,
email the embassy in Islamabad and find out. They will respond to you within 10 days
Okay.
And
Okay.
if nothing is moving, you should try at least one time to expedite if you can. And if
Okay.
not, you're just gonna have to wait because F4 categories has to wait.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, Aside. Graziella and others are asking to be added to the video. Just all you have to do is just follow the link. I just posted a link here. Just go into the link and you can add yourself to the queue, and I'll get you guys on video as well. Let me take another question. Question from Ricardo. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm married in Colombia. I did all the procedures with UCIS. I have the date to go to the U.S. Embassy at Colombia, Bogota. I did cancel that meeting because I lost all the documents. And then the follow-up is, oops, here we go. Let me see here. Ricardo, I think I lost your follow-up. So if you canceled your appointment, let's see here. If you canceled your appointment, then you're gonna need to contact the U.S. Embassy to get a new interview date or push it to a different to a different slot. But you're not gonna lose your eligibility just because you canceled your interview, if that's what you're asking. Guadalupe, I'm waiting to be scheduled in Mexico. It's been 2 years. I know there's people that have been waiting longer. So Ciudad Juarez is extremely backlogged. So if you've been waiting for 2 years, it's a long time, but for Ciudad Juarez, it's not because the typical wait time is over 2 years. However, it depends on what category you're in. So make sure you check that you're documentary qualified, that your priority date is current, and if you're still waiting, you need to be constant communication with this particular embassy because they're really, really slow. That's a good idea, Kwan. Thank you, sir. Don't forget to like the video, everybody. I appreciate it because the more you like the video, and if you are not following the channel, make sure you follow and subscribe if you're here for the first time. That's a good idea. Thanks, Kwan. I appreciate it. I like all our subscribers who are supporting our channel and reminding me to ask people to like the videos. And also, if you need my help with any of your cases, text me 619-483-4549. Let me take, we've got people waiting in line. We've got Laverne here, Rebert, and then
Hello.
Laverne.
Hello.
Let me know where you're from. Ask your question because we got a
Yeah.
lot of people waiting to ask
Uh,
questions.
I'm
Yeah.
from Sunnyvale, California, but right now I'm in Indonesia, Bali, Indonesia, with my
Okay.
wife. We're
Indonesia.
celebrating.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your
we're
question?
celebrating our second anniversary. Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Okay.
Mhm.
My question is, I filed for I-130 for my wife. My wife is from the Philippines.
Okay.
Um. Yeah, that uh petition got approved, right? But uh, the person that did my application,
Mm-hmm.
the paralegal, forgot to put the um, uh, forgot something in the paper. So
Okay.
she forgot to put where my wife is getting the visa. So the USCIS asked for another application, the I-824.
Okay.
So we filed for I-824 on July. So it's been like 4 months now. We asked for expedite and the expedite got approved. But right now, we didn't get, we didn't hear anything from them
Okay.
after the expedite.
So what you need to do is the I-24 is going to designate your I-130 to the right place. That's what you have to do. So because it was expedited, because it's not, it doesn't make sense for them to delay it so long. What you need to do is communicate directly with the post because you already have an approved expedite, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, just communicate directly with the post, and they should be able to manually schedule you for an interview. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I'm waiting for them to send it to the NVC. So I don't know how long do I need to wait. So do I need to sue them or do I need
No, no, no,
to?
no. You don't need to sue them yet. No, you're
Yeah.
not there yet. So basically, you need to communicate with MVC and the embassy because you have a case approved expedite. So MVC is going to move your case, process it faster, and then the embassy is going to schedule an interview. So you just have to communicate with both of them at the moment.
Oh, but okay. Okay. So
Okay.
how do I need to email them
You
or?
email only. MVC is only email. They don't no phone calls, and the embassy is also only email.
Okay.
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 And let me know if it doesn't work. let me know and I'll help you personally.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
I can call this number,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Just call the number here.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. We have a question from Ganeshido. I wanted to ask how USCIS plans to solve their huge backlog for marriage green cards. Base case, please. I came here a little bit late. Um, so the way they're going to solve the backlog is two things. First of all, they're going to they're basically moving everything to electronic format. So they have a system that they process all the forms electronically. That's why, if you remember, I did a video that I told people, when you file cases with UCIS, don't use one check to pay for all the forms. Separate the checks, one check per form. And the reason is because they're moving to an electronic system, which is going to make it much faster to process applications. The second thing they're doing is that they're waiving interviews. A lot of people are getting their interviews waived, and that's going to help reduce the backlog significantly because they're not going to need to interview people. The third thing they're doing is that they're hiring like crazy. There's so many UCIS officers that are being currently brought in. So UCIS is actually doing a good job on the backlogs. What we have issues with is the National Visa Center and the State Department, where the backlogs are significantly high, and they have not done anything to solve it. You know what I mean? So UCIS is actually moving fast. Let's see here. Let's take another question from here and then move to Kelly. My mother has a visa, but she came here and overstayed her 6 months 9 years ago. Her visa will expire in June. She's back in Brazil. Can she still come using her visa? So, if she overstayed over 6 months, she's barred for 3 years. If she overstayed a year, she's barred for 10 years. I think that in her case, she needs to reapply for a visa because she doesn't want to just show up at the airport and they're going to find out and they're going to just send her back. So just have her reapply for a visa. All right, let's take Laverne has been waiting patiently. And where are you from? And ask your question.
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Sapochnik. Okay, so I'm talking to you from Birmingham, Alabama. All right,
Nice.
so in 2019, I filed my I-130 because I got married to a US citizen. So
Yeah.
they've been sending it back until 2020. Okay, finally, I think in June 2020, they finally accepted. I haven't
Okay.
heard nothing. In November of 2021, they updated my case online saying that I was rescheduled for an interview. So that was fun 2021. Now
Okay.
it's 2023 and I have not heard nothing. The other day I had emailed them requiring service, but I still haven't heard nothing. But then my 485 got denied, so I refiled it. So January 7th of this year, 2022,
Yeah.
my 485 has been there for 1 year. So what do you think I should do?
So you have a second 45 that is currently pending, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So at this point, I think because of sometimes what happens is that people have what is called multiple A numbers because you have multiple applications.
Mhm.
The multiple A numbers could cause confusion in the system. So do you have a lawyer who is helping you or did
Yes.
you
Yeah, I
yourself?
got a lawyer to do the
So
485 the
so
last
the
one.
lawyer needs to make an inquiry to find out which A number is being adjudicated right now and what's causing the delay. He can make a direct inquiry with UCIS. He can make a congressional inquiry just to find out what's going on. You know what I mean? Because it looks like something is stuck there because of the duplicate A numbers. It seems to me, based on what you described to me right now.
Do you think it would be a good idea if I expedite if I expedite my
Before you
485?
expedite, before you expedite, just make an inquiry to find out why there's a delay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And based
Yes.
on the results of the inquiry, you can decide. The lawyer will decide if he's going to expedite or not.
Okay
Make
then.
sense?
I'll do that.
Okay. Thank you so much. If you
Thank
ever
you
need
so
help,
much.
you know where to find me.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Pleasure.
so much. Yes, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much.
much.
All right. Let's take another question here. I have an immigrant visa interview F2A in March 2022. Had an interview in from a third country national, but since then I have been waiting here in the car 11 months, stressed out. So remember, and what happened in this case is that he's a third country national. He's having an interview in a different country, and after the interview, there's no results. It's still delayed. So remember that sometimes people are going to background checks. Sometimes there could be many reasons why they are delaying it, especially because you're not doing an interview in the country of your origins. So I always say the same thing. The first step is to contact the embassy. They will respond to you to let you know what's going on. If things continue to be delayed and you don't get any results, then you can obviously escalate it. There's also a legal net. It's a legal department of State Department where if you have an attorney, they can email them and they can tell you what's going on. And the final resort is always litigation. We can always sue them. But I think in your case, it's still too early because we have to find out what's happening with your file and why it's so delayed. All right, let's take Musaib. Musaib, good afternoon, and where are you from?
Yeah, hello. I'm from Saudi Arabia, and my wife is from US, and we
Okay.
were married probably 1.5 years back now on September 4th, 2021. And my case, it has been documentally qualified on November 18th and it has been scheduled for interview in the US Embassy of Riyadh.
Okay.
But my residence permit, it expires in July of this year.
Okay.
So the thing is, like, I can go to India because I'm kind of like a national of India, and then I can come back to Saudi on a visit visa. So, but the thing is, I don't know, like, what do I do about the police clearance certificate? Because when I come on a visit visa to Saudi, I cannot take a police clearance certificate. I have to be a resident of the country to get it.
Right. So what you're going to do in this case, you're going to get a letter from the police department saying they cannot issue the certificate because you are a visitor. And this document will be sufficient to satisfy the requirement because you can't get it. In fact, NVC just announced, and the embassies as well, that they will take documents like that explaining why somebody cannot get a document, and they'll complete the file this way. Just do that. Because before, previously, maybe a year ago, they wouldn't do it, and that's why so many cases were just stuck. Okay, so in your case, just get that document from the police saying, listen, right now you're a visitor, you're not able to get this document, and it's fine. That should be fine. And then that will close the file that way. And at that interview, the consular officer will make a decision if they need any more info.
All right.
Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
That's what I would do. Perfect. Thank you, sir. All right. So let's take another question. We've got Musaib. Oh, yeah. So that's basically, we just answer your question. Perfect. We'll take Rajiv. Rajiv is from Nepal. My visa is F11, priority date 2015, DQ 2020, waiting for an interview. Do you tell me how many slots are given in my USMSC? Okay. So again, as I mentioned in previous videos, we don't know, nobody knows how many slots the embassy has per category. They just don't know. What they do is, the way it works is that as soon as they have slots available, they usually open them within 30 and 60 days. So for example, let's say in Kathmandu, they're going to have 25 slots available for your category. Within the 30-day window, they're going to notify NVC, and all the cases that are ahead of you are going to get those appointments. And if there's enough slots for you, you're going to be scheduled as well. Does it make sense? So there's no like countdown anywhere on the website or that they can tell you. So what happens is that they have a 30-day window. Sometimes it's 60 days. They'll open their slots. The embassy will notify NVC and they'll send their cases. So in your case, all you have to do is follow up with them. Let me see here. Rochelle, filed for AOS, did my biometrics. Can you say when I'll get my authorization card? So again, it really depends on what state you filed it. Typically, in most states, after biometrics, it takes about 6 months or so to get your work authorization. Sometimes it takes even 8 months. However, we had a case recently where somebody got their work permit 90 days after their biometrics. That's not common, though. It's unusual, but it can happen, right? So, it's just hard to say. All right, let's take Harun from the live, and we'll take a few more questions from the audience, and then we'll end our live stream. Hello, Harun. Where are you from, and what is your question?
Maryland, and I have a question. I filed a case for my mother back in 2019, and I was
Okay.
documentarily qualified last one July,
Okay.
and still waiting for interview. My question is that if I uh, remove my file from Islamabad to third station, like in a Saudi Arabia, how long is gonna take to get a interview?
Um, is Let me ask you this: is your priority date current? Do you know what the priority date is?
No, I'm not sure what.
So there is documentary qualified at
Mhm.
National Visa Center, which you're done with all your documents. This is done.
Yes, yeah.
Then there is a priority date. You look at the visa bulletin. Every month there's a visa bulletin. You look at your category F. Which one?
I think it's IR5, something like that
Yeah,
for my
IR5
mother.
for the parents, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So then you look at that category.
Hmm.
Actually, no, you're a U.S. citizen, right?
Yes, I'm U.S.
Oh yeah,
citizen.
yeah. So there's no issue. It's immediate. So you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about that. So I mean, you can try to do that. You can try to move it to a different country. There's just no guarantee right now which country is going to be faster. I mean, I think Saudi Arabia, before you move it, you have to get permission from that embassy over there. Anybody
Okay.
who wants to move their case to a different embassy, you have to get permission from the new
Hmm.
embassy to allow that. So you have to
Okay.
check first. If they approve it, then you
Mm.
can request MVC to move your case to Saudi. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna
It's worth
contact.
to try, to be honest with you, because
I,
Islamabad right now is so behind.
yeah, it's so behind.
I
I was
agree.
thinking I'll maybe give you a call or give.
Yeah, yeah. Just give me a call here and I'll help
Yeah,
you with the process.
yeah.
Sounds good?
That'll be fine. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks a
Thank you,
lot.
my friend. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. All right, guys, let's take another question from the audience here and then we'll end our live stream because I have to do some work as well, right? All right, Franklin, good afternoon. I'm Venezuelan. We filed up humanitarian parole for November. We are checking the system every day, but still doesn't get an update. So all the humanitarian paroles in Venezuela, all the other countries, they're definitely behind right now. So remember that the key to moving those cases is for you to follow up with USCIS constantly, because so many people have filed and they're behind. But they are working fast to get those cases out of the backlog. So I would, if I were you, I would just follow up with USCIS. Aisha, I got my son I-130 case at MVC for 20 months. Any help on when they're going to releasing visas? So as I mentioned before to the person before you, if your case is at MVC, it's documentary complete and the priority date is current, and it's been sitting there for so long, you need to take action, meaning that you have to contact the MVC every single month. You contact the embassy, and if they don't move their behinds, then the next step is to file a lawsuit. If everything have done everything possible, then right now we're suing a lot, especially people that are pending for over 2 years. MVC embassies waiting for interviews, whether marriage cases, employment-based cases. We have cases right now that have been sitting there for 3 years. Somebody that got their EB3 and they still don't have an interview, and we're suing them, and it's working, right? So remember, if your case is stuck and you've done everything possible and you're pending for a long time, the solution is to file a lawsuit, a mandamus. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to put you back in the line. It's going to help you. So all you have to do is just send me a text right here, 619-483-4549. And also, if you need help with any of your cases, that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm doing these lives every week as possible. That's why I'm doing my videos all the time. Those videos take a lot of time to prepare them, to research, to record them. And we're doing them every single week for you because I appreciate your support, subscribing to our channel, commenting. It means a lot to me as well, guys. So anyway, I appreciate all of you. That's it for today. Again, I'll be back next week, most likely. And remember, I'm also on TikTok as the immigration lawyer, on Instagram, San Diego immigration lawyer. Any questions you want me, send me a DM on Instagram only. I'm always there for you guys, and follow my stories there too. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week.